So last week's tutorial was all about how to make highlight and contour that much more natural. I'm going to get straight onto the makeup this week. If you want to see that tutorial, I will link it on screen for you, and it will also be at the end of the tutorial. Just had a knock at the door and I had a delivery from Milk Cosmetics, and I just wanted to show you how amazing is this package. Isn't that stunning? I'm trying to open it up with one hand. It's really heavy. It's so nice. Don't want to tilt it too much because there's 2 eyeshadow palettes. Beautiful little brush set as well. Look how gorgeous these palettes are. Look at all those beautiful colours. Milk Cosmetics is so underrated in my opinion. So attractive, aren't they? They're well soft as well. So these are the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions palettes. So we have a light, medium and a rich palette, and I'm going to use a mix of all 3 palettes for this look. I'm taking the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless concealer to prime my eyelids. This is really good at cancelling out any pinky tones or any blue tones. It's like a full coverage concealer. It's not too drying and it's also not very emollient, so it's not going to make your eyeshadow shift. I'm using a lighter shade than my skin tone because I want the eyeshadow to sort of be as true to the colour that's in the pan rather than my skin tone kind of making it look a little bit less vibrant or less like the colour in the pan. And I'm using a brush to buff that onto the skin. I'm also taking it underneath the eyes because we will be applying a little bit of eyeshadow there as well. And then I'm taking a dampened beauty blender to press it onto the skin, and you can see it instantly makes that concealer look a lot less intense and the finish is a lot smoother. This is because it absorbs any excess concealer. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills A6 Pro Buff and Blend brush. This is a synthetic brush that works best with cream and liquid based products. For the eyeshadow, I thought I would use one of those new brushes from Milk Cosmetics. The one I'm going to start with is the 818, and this is a fluffy blending brush. I'm going to start off with the light palette first, and I'm taking this shade here, which is a medium peach shade, and it's a matte finish. And on my fluffy blending brush, I'm going to start contouring the eyelid by working this in circular motions on the outer edge, and then using what's left on the bristles to buff that through the socket itself. This is a classic eyeshadow shape. The next colour I'm taking is from the Rich palette, which is the deepest shade, and this is a brownish coral, and again it's a matte finish. And using that same fluffy blending brush, I'm still buffing this on the outer C shape and deepening the first colour that we applied. And again, once I've buffed on the majority of that colour on the outer C, I'm then going to use what's left on the bristles to pull that through the socket. To intensify that further, I'm going into the medium palette. I'm taking this medium matte brown and I'm using my brush just to intensify the very outer third of the mobile lid and the outer socket. Using my brush, I'm softly blowing the colour outwards. I'm going to take the number 87 brush from the Milk Cosmetics set, and I'm going to use this to buff over the entire lot to soften it. You will find that once you've done this, a lot of your colour will look a lot softer, so you can go in and start to re-intensify the shades. I'm taking the darkest shade from the light palette, and this is a medium brown and it's a warm tone, and again I'm just concentrating this now on the outer third of the mobile lid. So you can see we've created a nice gradient now from the darker warm browns to that slightly lighter warm brown on the outer edge. And I'm buffing over all the seams to make sure they're nice and soft. Next I'm going into the Rich palette, and I'm taking this really warm peachy copper shade, and it's a metallic finish. So I'm going to use my finger to apply it, and I'm putting this on the actual mobile lid. So from the eyelash line up to where the eye naturally creases, this is your mobile lid, and that's where we're placing it. I'm also taking it over the darker shades that we've put on the outer third. From that same palette, I'm taking another matte finish eyeshadow, and this is kind of like a brick shade. And on my pencil brush from Milk Cosmetics, I'm taking that along the outer third of the eyelash line and into the socket in a bit of a V shape. And then I'm buffing that in with my Milk Cosmetics blending brush. Every step is completely optional, and each of the brushes I use you can adjust. So if you've got smaller eyelids, you might want to use a flat brush to apply the colours rather than a pencil brush because you might find it's a little bit too bulky. Also, if you find that a smoky eye is a little bit too intense for you, then just use the first layers as your base makeup and skip straight to eyeliner or even just mascara. I'm going into the darkest shade in the medium palette, and again this is another warm brown. And on the same pencil brush, I'm now deepening the outer V shape. Again, this is an optional step for you. It works with my eye shape, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm also thinking ahead that I'm going to create a bit of a winged eyeliner, so this is going to complement that shape. Going back to the Rich palette, this is the darkest eyeshadow of all three palettes, and this is a slightly cooler tone. It's got a bit of a purple appearance to it. And using the tip of the pencil brush, I'm creating a soft winged eyeliner, which is going to be the base for where I apply the cream eyeliner. And then I'm just reapplying some of the metallic shade because it has softened a little bit where we've been working on some of the eyeshadow in the socket. From the medium palette, I'm taking this warm goldy copper shade, and this is another metallic finish eyeshadow which I'm applying on the outer third of that mobile lid. I'm going to take the number 25 precision brush from Milk Cosmetics and I'm dipping it into that cool toned burgundy shade and just redefining that soft wing that we've applied, and I'm also very softly running that all the way along the top lid. From Milk Cosmetics new launch, I'm taking this cream ultra matte eyeliner, and this is in the shade Immortal, and I'm using their eyeliner brush to apply this along the eyelash line, but as I go along, because it does set quite quickly, I'm going to use the precision brush to buff over the top. I'm not looking to totally soften it, but just make it look a little bit softer. I'm also going to do the same with the outer wing. And using an angled liner brush, I'm softly running that burgundy purple shade over the top, and then I'm also going to add a very small amount to the outer V shape of the eye, because this just gives a little bit more of a feline appearance because it elongates the eye ever so slightly. And it also contours that outer lid, which just makes your actual mobile lid look a little bit bigger. Again, this is an optional step, it's completely up to you. Just make sure you tap off all the excess product before you go in with the pencil brush because you don't want to create a muddy appearance. I'm now taking a mix of the warm browns underneath the lower eyelashes using the pencil brush, and I'm just making sure that I connect that with the outer corner where the wing starts, because we don't want a gap between our lower eyelashes and that wing. Going back to the light palette, I'm taking this beautiful pinky gold metallic finish eyeshadow on my little finger, and I'm placing that on the inner corner of my eyes to add a beautiful highlight. It can be a little bit difficult applying it with your fingers to this area, but make sure you do it from both angles to drag that eyeshadow from the inner corner onto your mobile lid to meet the other metallic eyeshadow that we've got there. I'm now taking Zoeda's graphic eye pencil in the shade Black to Earth. This is the blackest eyeliner, and this is going along the waterline. I've been trying out this Stila Magnum mascara, and it's a really nice formula. It does flake a tiny bit, and the other problem that I have with it is that it is a massive wand, so I have to look really low into a mirror when I apply it, otherwise it ends up on my eyeshadow, which is a pain. However, it is a really nice mascara for giving you dramatic lashes super quick. I thought I would just add in a small amount of how I've been filling in my eyebrows. I do have a tutorial on this method. I'm currently using my MAC Fling Shape and Shade brow pen. I still would prefer to use an Urban Decay one because I prefer their pen. It has a tiny little nib, but they still don't do a colour that is cool enough for my eyebrow shade. I will link on screen the tutorial for this method for you. And the eyelashes I popped on were these ones by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and they are the dreamy ones, which really are dreamy. I got this gorgeous lip gloss set through from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's got so many incredible nudes. I really like the look of this one, so I think I'm going to try that. So this one's called Peachy. This may seem a little bit odd to you, but I'm going to use the Benefit Roller Lash in brown to just line my lips. I really like the colour of this, and it's got a really fine tip so you can be quite precise, and you can use your finger because it's still wet to blend it out. So this can look weird at the beginning. It adds a little bit of a contour to the lip. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Boi-ing by MAC and work that over the top. So having that little bit of roller line around the edge is just like a shadow. And that completes my tutorial on today's eye makeup look. I kind of wanted it to be more of a neutral nude. I feel like with most of Huda Beauty's eyeshadows, which are phenomenal, err on the pink side, and you know, I'm not so much a fan of pink. I would like to do a more nude look that is kind of neutral or even more on the cool side. I used colours from all of the palettes so I could see what they were like, and they were all very red based. As much as I love the overall look and I'm really happy with it, I feel like that's not too dissimilar to the new Nudes palette, but that's my opinion on it anyway. They are phenomenal. If you want to see how I did the base makeup, go and check out last week's tutorial. All the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you've got any suggestions for content, please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget you can follow me outside of YouTube on my social handles, which will be on screen for you now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.